it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel. Today I am back for an apartment renovation and boy has it been a long time since I've done one of these. I thought it was about time to jump back into San Myshuno and renovate an apartment. So we are actually in the Fashion District, I believe. This is Penny Pizzazz's studio apartment and I tried to keep it to kind of the same type of feel. Being sort of a studio. The bedroom is over here. I just sectioned off with a little archway, so it's not like full studio, but it is still very open. And the concept I went with for the decorating of this apartment was it's very inspired by Scandinavian design, and I had a lot of fun with it. So it's very white, lots of timber, like this light timber on the floor, and blacks and no curtains, and just a very simplistic, minimalist design. And I think it came out pretty nice because I don't typically use just like plain whites and stuff like that. So it was nice to switch it up a little bit and have a very modern, simplistic kitchen and have a very open floor plan here. I do open floor plans a lot in apartments, but I really like how this one came out. And honestly, I'd be happy living here in real life. Like, a lot of the places I built, I'm like, oh, I really like how it came out, but it's not like my cup of tea. This is my cup of tea. This is like really my cup of tea. And so that's what we're doing here. I use these really simple base game cabinets here because I guess they're like one of the more modern ones that we have, and I felt like they fit the design I was going for really, really well. Another thing that I did to keep with the style that I was going for was all of the walls in the house remain white. Some of them end up being tiled instead of this plain white wallpaper, but it was really a different thing for me to do because I don't typically have all white walls in my apartments or like any house I make in The Sims, because I feel like it just looks kind of bland, like there's something missing. I feel like I just can't do it. So it was kind of a challenge for me to go ahead and do that. I also put a lot of plants around, which I think came out really nicely because I put like a little bit of clutter, but I feel like it's very neat and there's not much of it. And I don't know, it reminds me a little bit of like the amount of stuff they leave on the display counters at like IKEA and stuff. And I was kind of going for that with the clutter because all the pictures that I found that I looked up like had a couple things here and there, but it was very organized. So there wouldn't be just like piles of silverware on the counter, but there might be a thing like I put next to the stove there that's holding some spoons and spatulas. Maybe there's a small wine rack on the wall, but there's like not a lot. I also end up adding a cutting board to the wall, and I'm pretty sure that's like the last thing that gets added to the kitchen. It's very simple, white, clean, and I really, really like it. So I hope you guys like it too, but that's pretty much the kitchen. Also, when we get into the rest of the build past the kitchen, it's going to go by way faster than this, and you're not going to see as much of the like decision process between, ooh, should this work or would this work? Like, I go directly for items, and that's because when I was recording this, I recorded it in two sections where I recorded the first part of the kitchen, and then I stopped to go get a drink, and then went to go finish the rest of the build. And for some reason, the second half of the build, the footage was like slowed down and it wasn't corrupted, but it was like very laggy. Like you couldn't see anything I was doing. So I just went and deleted everything and re-recorded, placing down all the objects that I already knew I was going to place. So it goes by a little faster here. But anyway, this is the dining area. I ended up using the table from bowling night stuff, and I don't know where those chairs are from, but I thought they fit pretty well. There's like some other chairs I wish we had in game, like going through the different reference pictures I used for this, there's like so many different items I wish we had in game, and I can't wait to get some more stuff in future packs, whatever those may be. I'm always so excited to get new items because a lot of times they're really versatile for different types of design, and I feel like we get a decent amount of like modern, interesting stuff. So I'm excited to get more of that, and also other styles. The bathroom is very simple, black and white, mostly white, just like touches of black here and there. And I'm pretty happy with it. It's very sterile. I feel like it fits the rest of the home very well. And yeah, that's pretty much the bathroom. I don't think we add anything else. Yeah. We also add a little storage cabinet over here from cats and dogs, which I imagined would be a good place to store towels and stuff for the bathroom. It filled up some space, but it also is like very simple, organized storage, which is another thing I noticed. Also, Not everything in here is going to be completely perfect to that style, considering we have limitations of The Sims, and this is my own interpretation, and it's inspired by Scandinavian design. It's not necessarily this is what it is. But I thought this couch from Jungle Adventure worked really, really well because it's white and has just a couple of simple black accents to it. Also added some paintings, very simple design elements, furnishings here. I also use this table as like just kind of a side table to go under the wall mounted TV in the living room. It came with cats and dogs. It's a little more rustic than I would like, but the shape of it is something I saw that was very prevalent in a lot of the reference pictures I was looking at, so I thought that was kind of nice. In the bedroom, I immediately thought of this bed when I thought of this idea. I was like, that's going to be the bed I'm using. It's also one of my favorite beds, but it's just so simple, and it's got the white bedspread on it, so I thought it was perfect. It's got the light woods I wanted, and normally I'd be a little concerned with the lack of curtains, but that's another thing I had noticed. There's not many curtains, if any, in any of the reference pictures I saw. But since we're on like pretty high up in an apartment building, I'm not too worried about people looking in those windows. I mean, if you download this house, you could always add some curtains if you feel like your Sims need more privacy. But we have this little nook over here for technology, and I did read that there's usually some like separate technology zones in design for Scandinavian design, and I didn't keep this completely separate from other things, but it does have its own little space, its own little nook, so I don't think it's like thrown into the middle of anything too much because it has its own space. And so that's pretty much this build, adding a couple more plants here and there, and we're going to add a bookcase here as well, which I really, really like. Anyway, I think we are going to be coming to the end of the video here shortly after I add one more plant. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you'd like to download it, it will be on the gallery if you search MsGryphi or if you search Griffy or the hashtag MsGryphi. Like usual, that will be on the Sims 4 gallery. That information is also in the description down below of every single video, so if you're ever looking for anything, that's where you can find it. But I think that's really it. Like and subscribe if you're new. Bye, everybody.